Big win today.
Yeah, it's a huge win. I think it's a test of our character, like I said earlier. Before we came up to this game, last week was a hard one for us in Phoenix. But we came to play, and we showed what we could do.
So that Dahlman's free kick, there was a little bit of a momentum swing before that, going into the end of the first half, into the beginning of the second half. They kind of had you guys a little bit on your heels, and then he had that free kick. What were you thinking on that run?
Well, yeah, it was just backing away because there was a huge gap between me and the defender and the rest of the field. So I just wanted to keep opening up that gap, and then as soon as it opened, just went through, and Don played a great ball. So a lot of props to him on that.
I feel good to be back home and get a win as well. I know you guys have had trouble when you've had to go out west this year, so just to get your footing back and try and keep the momentum you've had in the second half.
Yeah. Like we said, we struggled at the end of the first half. We got to close things out. Hopefully, we can do that for the next 3 games. So, we're looking forward to, like you said, going away trips. So it's going to be a huge weekend coming up. Hopefully we can get 6 points. So, use this momentum swing.
What was said at halftime? I mean, again, it was a little shaky there at the end. What was said there?
Just that we got to keep our heads. We did well for 35, 40 minutes. But then, shaky towards the end. So it was just a mental thing, which is, easy to clean up. It's not like, we were being outplayed or anything like that. So, just a mental thing.
Did you guys have to say anything to Lish, or just the way you bounced back in the second half, had some big saves after the mistake in the first half? I mean, was anything said, or did he just, shake it off?
Yeah, he knows. Really nothing needs to be said. We just kind of, keep your head up. We're still up 2-1, so it's not the end of the world. He's a good goalie, just had a mistake, so he knows, and, we just had to lift him up, and he was fine with that.
So there was a little bit of a momentum swing there from at the end of the first half, going into the second half. What was the word at halftime?
We just we're not good enough to take a foot off the gas and make it comfortable. It was very comfortable first 40 minutes, and then last 5 minutes of the first half it was a bit of a shocker, and we can't do that. We're not on that level yet, but maybe we will be one day. So just the word and a half, you got to take care of the business, man. Main mark in the box and just go about it professional way, and that's what we did last second half. And Guarini scored a beautiful goal again, and it worked out. Played very well tonight. So
yeah, even leading 2-1, it seemed like coming out of the second half you were even throwing more numbers forward than you did in the first, and the payoff was Green's goal. But were you trying to get Sterling up the outside like he was doing more of?
Well, we love having our outside backs overlap a lot, especially on the Dolman side and Sterling side. Dolman does a very good job of crossing, and that's his weapon to do it. So if Dolman and Sterling overlap, they create numbers up in attack. When you create numbers up in attack, it's easier to move the ball around and score, and you get yourself in a better chances. That's the style of soccer that we like to play over here. And then, when we do that, we got to make sure we tied up in the back, 2 center backs and a holding midfielder, so they always stay in the shape, and everybody else kind of have a free roll going forward. So.
When you guys need big goals this year, it seems like set pieces. You did it again today. Dahlman to Green.
We keep practicing them. we do practice a lot of set pieces, to be honest with you. Corner kicks and free plays and everything else. So it's working. They did a statistic, I think, one time you scored about, 37% of your goals on the free kicks. So, it's working out for us. So.
Now you guys get ready for a road trip down south this weekend coming up against 2 teams that you're trying to chase down for the playoff spot. So are you in the position you want to be going into this last road trip?
Every game we play, we just tell the guys, hey, just let's have a chance in the last game against Arizona that we can make the playoffs. That's all we're asking for, and hopefully we can go down and do the job and come back and with Arizona over here at home, in front of a beautiful crowd, and take Arizona. But one game at a time, one training session at a time. So that's all we're hoping for, just a chance.
So you have some guys that were out for a while. You were able to bring a lot of guys in today, maybe that like Jose got a chance to play a little bit at the
Yeah,
end.
Jose just came back this week, and he was training full week, and he's not 100% ready, but he's getting there, and we just want to get him prepared more and more every game. So Joseph is not training with us, but he comes and plays for us every game, every time he can. He's going to school getting PhD, but he was phenomenal today again, and I just want to thank Joseph for doing those kind of things for this organization and for us and stuff like that. Hopefully he can continue doing for the rest of the season, and then he can go back to school. Danny Earls was hurt before last 2 practices. He didn't train, but he played today very well. When we scored that 3rd goal, we made a decision to pull him out and rest him for the Carolina trip, because we know Alfonso can do that job very well, and he did. He stepped on the field and played very well tonight. So
talk a little bit about Lish. I know that was a difficult goal to give up, but it seemed like he still made some big saves today.
yeah, I mean, Lish, it happens. Mistakes happen, and you can't control mistakes. Besides that little goal, he did very well tonight, and I can't complain about it. It happens, and when you're a goalie, that's what happens sometimes. So, but he'll be good. So, thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
First of all, just talk through your goal. You seem to have a knack for those shots from distance. Last year you had some in big games, and then this year, hopefully the same result, that it starts the playoff push, right?
Yeah, I mean, I take up that position quite a lot. And usually, 9 times out of 10 it doesn't come. The Pats play a different ball, but luckily JJ got his head up and see me under the edge of the box, and I just let fly, and luckily I caught it clean.
But were you picking out that corner of the net, or were you just going for power and
Just
getting
going
on
for power,
frame?
really. I knew it was going to be, it was kind of a difficult angle. It was coming across my body, so I knew I had to kind of whip it with the outside of my foot. But like I said, I just caught it clean, and fortunately it went in.
Now heading into the final road trip of the season, you guys where you need to be to at least have a shot at the playoffs here. So the way the season started, are you just happy to be at this point where you're still playing meaningful games?
Yeah, maybe 11, 12 games ago, if you'd have offered me this position, I might have took it. We've had a good little run. We've struggled a little bit on the road, but all we can do now is win our last 3 games. It's a little bit out of our hands. There's teams above us who, if they win, they're going to get the spots, but if we don't make it, it's our own fault, and that's because we started so poorly. But if we win our last 3 games, at least we know that we gave it our all for the last couple of months of the season. Thanks very much.
All right, thanks, Rob.